that no protest is to take place, these miscreants try to breach the red zone and try to wreak havoc with our country when our economy is doing so well. And I think we had offered that this protest be carried out at Sangjani, where it could have been done very peacefully, but they did not come with peaceful intentions. I had released footage 2 days before where their people can be seen, professionals can be seen, firing, using weapons, using tear gas shells, using stun guns, using pellet guns. What was the purpose behind this? I fail to understand, and we become so immune that 4 ranger personnel were run down, 2 police constables were martyred, but their bloodshed, we've become totally oblivious to that. So I think these security forces are there to protect the sanctity of the capital, and a false rhetoric on social media was played up by using a false narrative that these Rangers personnel were hit by their own people. The culprit has been identified. He's from the Aptabad city of KPK. And the only reason for besieging the capital was just to disrupt peace and create a distortion. There was no rhyme or reason behind it, no demands, no public demands, just one demand that their leader should be released. That's in the hand of the court. The government has nothing to do with that. We have caught 37 Afghan nationals. Afghanistan is a friendly country. All due respect to Afghanistan. As a minister, our government stated policy is that we have friendly relations with Afghanistan. But what are Afghan citizens doing in Islamabad in a political party's protest? Is that even allowed? And what is their background? Who brought the Taliban back? Taliban Khan brought the Taliban back. We had carried out extensive operations from 2013 to 2017. We had brought back peace to KP. We had brought back peace to Karachi. Suicide bombings and incidents of terrorism had come down to a grinding halt. They had come down to zero. But Mr. Taliban Khan comes back, and because he's always been a Taliban sympathizer, he brings them back and makes them settled in these areas. Now KP is fighting a war against terrorism, and the Chief Minister is not interested. He's not interested at all in education, in health, in social sectors, in maintaining law and order. 50 people have died in Kuram, and you have people besieging the capital from the same province. The same police force which is supposed to be maintaining law and order in that province is besieging the capital. There's no justification for that. So the terrorism, the rise in terrorism in Pakistan, there's only one man responsible who promote violence, and this is the same party where religion is used as a tool. You saw a statement against Saudi Arabia the other day. What was the purpose of that statement? There was only one purpose of the statement: to play with the religious sentiment of the people of this country. They've always done that. They will use religion wherever they can for their own political purposes. They will use the Taliban for their purposes, political purposes, and they will use religion for that purpose. I would just briefly like to condemn 3 media houses were ransacked. Office of Ek News, a reporter of AP, the office of 2 other news channels, AGN and Sama TV, they were ransacked. So I will now request Federal Minister for Planning, Development and Special Initiatives, Mr. Ahsan Iqbal, to address you.
Thank you very much. As Minister, Information has shared with you that in last couple of days, a political party whose head is Mr. Imran Khan tried to create mayhem in the capital, and they, armed with latest weaponry, brought their workers, supporters to not only carry out a sit-in in Islamabad, but also they intended to occupy Parliament House like they did in 2014. At that time also, they entered red zone, and in the name of sit-in, and eventually they overran Parliament House. They burned this building where we are sitting, the PTV headquarters. And subsequently, we see that there is a pattern of violent politics that PTI has been carrying out. After 2014, they had number of long marches which failed. Again, they brought their workers from Peshawar under the umbrella of KP government. There was one march in 2016 which was successfully stopped at the borders of Punjab province. They could not enter Islamabad. But later on, they have carried out number of incidents of violence. For example, in Islamabad, when Mr. Imran Khan was appearing for hearing, they virtually overtook judicial complex and they carried out worst kind of violence against security forces. In Lahore, when court orders were delivered to them for appearance before the court, PTI workers armed and also very extremist kind of people from KP who had joined their ranks. They threw petrol bombs on police. As a result of which, number of policemen were seriously injured, including one of our senior officials who is heading the Islamabad police. He almost lost his eye. So there is a pattern, and this pattern culminated at the peak point on 9th May in the shape of attacks on Pakistan's key military installations. They attacked general headquarters of army, they attacked the corps commander's residence in Lahore, they virtually burnt the house, they attacked military bases, air force bases, intelligence headquarters, they attacked the monuments of our martyrs. So violence was carried out against military installations at a level which was never seen before. And I think no democratic country, whether it is USA or UK or any European democracy, no democracy would allow any group in the name of freedom of expression or action such activities where groups could, attack their military installations and vital state institutions. So this is a history, and in this history, they again wanted to carry out the same saga in Islamabad. As you are aware that when Pakistan hosted Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit this year, at that time also they wanted to disrupt the SCO Summit, which was the highest event Pakistan was hosting in almost 2 decades. But fortunately, that attempt was also foiled and they could not be successful in their designs. This time again, with lot of preparation and using the cover of KP government, by using the funds of the government, by using the machinery of the government, by using the official or the government employees, they attacked Islamabad. Now, what I would like to share with you and what Minister Information has said, that we must analyze what was their demand. Their demand was that Mr. Imran Khan should be released by the government. Now, I want to make it very clear, Mr. Imran Khan is not a political prisoner. He is facing serious charges of corruption. He is facing charges under which no politician in USA or Europe would be allowed to go scot-free because he or she happened to be holder of a big office, or any celebrity because he or she is a celebrity would be considered above law. So he has to provide answers and he has to provide evidence that he has not done anything wrong. Instead of doing that, they are evasive of the trial. Their lawyers are busy trying to delay the trial, just as they did in the foreign funding case, when his party was found guilty of getting funding from abroad against the laws of the land. And when this proceeding started in Election Commission, they delayed these proceedings for 6-7 years. The second case he faces is even serious. 190 million pounds were returned by National Crime Agency of UK to Pakistan when they confiscated this amount from a Pakistani national who could not justify that money in London and had been found guilty of money laundering crime. According to the international conventions and law, UK government handed this money back to government of Pakistan. Instead of depositing this 190 million pounds in the state exchequer, Mr. Imran Khan, in collusion with one of his financiers, who was his political financiers, Mr. Malik Riaz, he gave UK authorities the direction that this money be deposited in an account opened by Supreme Court for Mr. Malik Riaz to deposit his fine money for the fine that Supreme Court had imposed him. So actually what Mr. Imran Khan did, he converted that money that had been confiscated in London into white money for this financier of his, and he stole 190 million pounds from Pakistan's treasury. Besides that, he is facing charges for inciting 9th May violence. That is again a major crime. Look what happened in UK when recently there were racial riots, or before that there was arson on the streets of London. How did the UK judicial system act? In 24 hours, they punished all the culprits so that those crimes do not happen again. So similarly, Mr. Khan is facing these serious allegations of corruption, of inciting violence against the security institutions of Pakistan. No country in the world allows such kind of arson, such kind of violence against its state institutions. We faced all sorts of charges, from Mr. Nawaz Sharif to Mr. Shehbaz Sharif to Maryam Nawaz to Mr. Hamza Shehbaz to Khaja Asif to Shahid Khaqan Abbasi to myself to Rana Sanaullah to Khaja Saad Rafiq, and name, Mr. Miftah. All the ministers, all the frontline leaders faced bogus cases during Imran Khan's tenure. We were all put into jail. We never went to US congressmen begging for mercy. We never went to UK lords in the House of Lords begging for mercy. We never went to UN. We fought our cases in the courts of Pakistan. And we would like an early conclusion of those cases, because if the cases were concluded, we knew that the reality or the truth will come out. We were not evasive of the trials. But Mr. Khan, instead of contesting his cases in the courts, chooses to create a hue and cry. It is the judiciary of Pakistan that has to decide his cases. But by just, portraying as if he is being victim, he's trying to somehow create a pressure where he gets maybe an NRO. What he used to allege us that we are asking for NRO, maybe he's asking now himself for an NRO that he may be pardoned. So in the end, I would say that it must be very clear to our international audience that there is no victimization against Mr. Imran Khan. He's not a political prisoner. He is facing serious charges on the basis of which no politician, no public office holder, or no celebrity in Western world will be allowed to go scot-free.
Can you please elaborate the details that how the security forces dispersed the protesters? Like what was their methodology? Like did they use tear gas? Did they use baton or whatever?
It is coming out of the spin factory of PTI media cell in order to divert attention from the humiliation they faced, from the tall claims their leaders were making that we will sit here till Mr. Imran Khan is released, from the embarrassment that the spouse of Mr. Imran Khan and the chief minister of KP fled from the scene, leaving their workers, at the mercy of the security forces to pick them up and arrest them. And this is what they have done all along. They have used their workers as a fodder for their political ambitions, for their political designs.
The internal rift within the party, you saw that major leaders were missing from this protest. We saw Atif Khan was not there, Tarar And Ahsan was not there, Asad Kaisar was not there, Hamad Azhar was not there, the Secretary Information Sheikh Waqas Akram was nowhere. So basically, the rift between Alima Khan and Bushra Bibi, this is the first time that they've come so far because Bushra Bibi wanted to stage an internal coup within the party.
Government confirm us at this moment, were there any civilian deaths among the protesters, number one, and if there were, how many were there and how did that happen?
The health department has issued two statements, one from the Polyclinic Hospital and one from the PIMS Hospital, stating that they received no dead bodies. There was a fake list which was circulating on the social media. They have declared that list to be fake. No bodies have been received by any of these people. Yes, PTI was trying to look for bodies here and there. They are in the habit of visiting morgues for that matter. And in the past, we've seen that they've owned funerals of ordinary citizens and putting a flag of PTI on those bodies. This has been done in the past.
We're told that the Polyclinic, they had brought in 4 dead bodies of civilians with gunshot wounds. How did those people die if it was not as a result of what happened during the course of the protest? Can you explain? Because I know that you've said there's been mistakes in the hospitals. That is contradictory.
Both the hospitals, Polyclinic Hospital and secondly the PIMS Hospital, both have denied receiving any dead bodies or any gunshot wound victims. Secondly, there was no live ammunition. Let me confirm that. The police, the rangers, all security personnel deployed on ground have been forbidden, and there is no live ammunition ever in any protest. That's the stated policy of the government. Now, we can obviously go into a debate over that, but my contention as information minister is that the hospital authorities have denied all these rumors circulating on social media. I can confirm that the medical superintendent, the hospital in charge, and the health ministry have issued written information regarding this, and they've categorically denied this. But I can show you this. This is what I was standing amidst firing. I'll share a video where I'm standing and you can see, you can hear shots being fired, and this is what I collected. This is not what peaceful protesters carry. This is not what peaceful. I collected this myself on the ground, and this was being used. A lot of security personnel have been injured because of this. All this evidence I collected from the other side of the container. I was standing on the parliament side of the container, and this is what it is.
No, this is not used by security, ammunition. These are the guns which are normally privately used.
A political party which makes video of every single thing that they do could not come up with one video of direct firing. They could not even doctor a video or create a video on artificial intelligence of security forces directly firing on protesters. So you see, we have CCTV footages. I'm playing these footages behind you on the screen. I'm playing it over there. We have clear footages. No direct firing was done by security forces. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
बाकी वज़रा अताउल्लाह तारड़ और अहसन इकबाल की गैर मुल्की
वफाकी वज़रा अताउल्लाह तारड़ और अहसन इकबाल जो कि गैर मुल्की मीडिया से गुफ्तगू कर रहे थे। इस मौके पर अताउल्लाह तारड़ ने कहा कि 37 अफ़गानियों को हिरासत में लिया गया। PTI के अज़ाइम पुरअमन एहतजाज के नहीं थे। उन्होंने कहा कि हमने संगजानी में पुरअमन एहतजाज की पेशकश की थी। इसके बाद अहसन इकबाल ने भी गैर मुल्की मीडिया से गुफ्तगू की। उन्होंने कहा कि पुरतशद्दुद एहतजाज PTI का ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड है।